Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Yes, I will probably be talking in ASMR this entire video. Everyone in my house is sleeping and I decided to make a video. What is this amazing video idea that I have that I had to get started on? I have been watching and obsessing with Reddit stories. Today we're going to be reading Reddit stories on this sleepover until I can't do it anymore and I fall asleep. I want to read some crazy, juicy, crazy ones. Let's start a new account. Oh shoot, I have to actually use an account. Okay, do I have a fake account? Okay, we're good. What should I make my username? I make my username swag princess 444. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay down and I'm gonna be very comfy. I don't care if I look dropped. Very comfy, and then we're gonna read some stories. I don't know if y'all know this, but I use this pink iPad for literally everything. Like almost 90% of my TikTok videos are filmed using this pink iPad. Go through r/confessions because you guys already know what we're here for. Get comfy. Let's get ASMR and comfy and let's get started. And I'm actually going to give advice too, okay? In case any of you guys are going through the same situation, so you guys get free advice, free therapy, and you get to hear me talk. I know, it's such a romantic thing. I can't stop thinking about my best friend's sister. Why did I just see my name? I'm scared. I'm in love with my best friend's sister. Her name is Sarah. She's around 24 years old. I'm 19. I mean, it's legal. She has a boyfriend of 3 years. Immediately, no. I'm telling you, I heard what I needed to hear. Who's also a very good friend of mine. Oh, Lord. I don't want to betray or hurt either of my friends. On the other hand, I dream of her every night. She is just hauntingly beautiful. But not just that, she is kind, funny, smart, interesting.
Is it off sub only?
Is that my beautiful, handsome, glorious, perfect, funny, charming, entertaining, pleasant, amazing, stunning, gorgeous, sexy, tanned, #1 on Cameo, rich and famous Katie?
And she's always so nice to me. I have fantasized more about her than about any other woman. This crush has been going strong for about 2 years. I just want to be with her so bad. Some days it's all I can think of. I'm not sure if I can get over her. She's too perfect. What should I do? Let me tell you something. You started off with, I'm in love with my best friend's sister. You're not in love with her. You don't know her. You don't know what she's like. You don't really know her personality truly. You don't know jack shit about her. You're in love with the idea of your best friend's older sister. And you're also in love with the idea that a woman who's older than you is giving you this sort of attention and affection. I'm not sure what kind of mommy issues you have, but it kind of looks like you have some. The first thing you said is she's hauntingly beautiful before you mentioned her personality. So that's another reason, if she's as beautiful as you're describing her, why I think you're in love with her. It's not just that. She's kind, funny, smart, interesting, and she's always so nice to me. Those are good qualities to have, but you're not saying that she flirts with you. You're not saying she gives you signals as to that she likes you. So it just seems like you're just have a crush on her. Like you have a crush on your best friend's sister. That's normal. A lot of people have crushes on their friends' siblings who they think is very attractive, especially when it's older. When it's someone older than you, for some reason that creates like a mysterious, alluring effect. So it's normal. It happens in hella music videos, movies, shows. That's how normal it is. But if she's in a relationship, leave her alone. It's a 3-year relationship and he's good to you. Just, dude, you can't get over it because it's all you're thinking about and you're obsessing over it. You need to find someone else to obsess over. Never tell her, please. This one's really long, so prepare yourself. I also like to read very dramatically. Hopefully y'all like that. Yes, I need my iPad this close because I can't see. I have really, really bad vision. But it says, we were going to be late on rent or have no food in the house and I found a bunch of money. My paycheck came in and it wasn't going to be enough. I was working full-time with my partner part-time. I lied and said that I would handle the groceries and rent would be okay. My partner said okay and didn't ask much more. Truth is, I had found a wad of cash, about $400-ish of 20s. I pocketed it. I have never seen that many 20s together in my life. I feel horrible, especially because I know who was sat at that table. That was years ago, but I can still see their faces. A big, huge family on Sunday morning after church. I justified at the time because they were going to go to the lake to fish on their boat and how mad they were about the gays. I am a trans man. My partner at the time was a man, taking over America and the church. And something about their pastor says boys should be men and girls should be women.
Where did all the straight people go, huh? Enough! Boys kiss girls, and girls kiss boys. It's simple.
And everyone nodded and smiled all creepy like, even the kids. So, there's a family next to you. I'm assuming it's a restaurant. You and your partner can barely afford food and rent, so it's not like you're pocketing the change for, like, luxuries. And these people just have that much 20s sitting around, about $400 of 20s that they just brought with them. I'm assuming it's going to the church, if they're that invested in the church and their personality's going the way it is. I'm assuming that money's going to the church, because why else would you be bringing that much food to dinner? I was one of those kids once, but besides the point, take my bias with a grain of salt. I've grown up since then, and I've learned that some people will simply just be different, and good Christians exist. Anyway, I took the money, pocketed it, guiltily took their $10 tip on a $250 order. They did a $250 order? I'm sorry, they had that coming. Like, look, I will not say pocket people's money. I will not justify stealing, but this is a gray area. These people are clearly well off. They have money enough to spend $250 at a restaurant and laugh and talk, and you are bussing, and they gave you a $10 tip. They wouldn't have gave you a $10 tip if they were genuinely needing the money. And $10 tip on a $250 order? Come on, guys, let's do better. I was wiping down their table when the man who made the gays comment came back and said, "Did you find anything around the spot? I had a few $100 in cash for our trip to Six Flags. Let me know if you find that." I said, "Yeah, for sure, I'm so sorry you lost it," and made a big show of checking around the place, my pockets burning a hole in my slacks. I pulled both the booth cushions, get down on the floor, and my phone flashlight and apologized, then reported it to my manager. The store put up a message in the group chat about it, and everyone was on the hunt. I live in a different state at the time that was incredibly Catholic, but I knew my life was over if I ever admitted it. But we, and our cats, got food for a couple months, and things were okay for once. I still feel guilty, and sometimes pass the church in my town I'm in, having the thought of it and thought of going in and confessing that I took the money and didn't tell the owner of it when asked. I'm not religious. I mean, I was when I was a kid, but not anymore. My family still is, and comes time to time, like an ugly cancer that never goes away. I'm gonna say the truth. I'm glad you took the money. Some people do things out of desperation, and you seem to be a very good person. Bad people and thieves don't give a fuck if they stole money. They don't think about it as much as you do. They don't dramatize it like you do. They don't consider that it's something that's eating away at them and super guilty to the point where you feel the need to go and confess. This is a family that is well off, with some hate in their heart. They were going out to eat before their trip to Six Flags. They seem to be doing very well. Consider it them paying their, what is it called when Christians pay money? Lent, I think it's called Lent, when you have to pay it forward, and consider that their Lent. They're not supposed to be talking bad about other people, so if you would like me to justify it for you, as Christians, talking bad on people is a sin, okay? Consider it God's way of taking them pay for their word, but God loved them so much that he didn't want them to experience negative things, so he just took their money knowing that they were not needing it, and he gave it to you. That's genuinely how I'm going to justify it for you, but you're not a religious person. I'm just letting you know that. So if you're not religious, consider it just simple as that. They did not need the money. They are definitely not thinking about the money as much as you're thinking about the money. Take that. Do with that what you will. I'm having so much fun reading these for you guys. I love doing this. I have been obsessed with watching people read Reddit stories and comment on them. So I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I've enjoyed. It's crazy. I mean, if I ever lost $400, I'm not very well off, so I would be crashing out. Somebody that considers myself quite lucky, and I definitely believe in everything happens for a reason. So if I lost $400, I would definitely be crashing out, but I just assumed that, I don't know, everything happens for a reason. Okay, this one's a little interesting. This person says, I took a picture of my coworker without their consent. Okay, this has actually happened to me, so I'm going to tell you guys a very quick story time before we get into this one, if you are liking the stories. One time I was working the window when I was working at Taco Bell not too long ago, and I had this very weird coworker, and I'm going to drop his name because I don't work there anymore, and he needs to know that he's very weird for that. But he was named James. He was an older man. He took his phone out while I was bending over on my phone to say. And he took a picture of it, and then I turned around and asked him, did you just take a picture of me? And he said, no, I didn't. And I said, I saw you pull your phone out. And he was like, yeah, I was checking for a text. And I asked him to show me his phone, and he refused. And then I told my managers, and they checked his phone, they didn't find anything. But I know for a fact that he deleted them after he saw me make a big deal out of it. Anyways, at my now former job, I took a picture of my coworker of the opposite sex without her consent. Weird. Both of us were in the receiving bay of our workplace. They were standing over to the side, and I tried to take a picture of them. Another coworker saw what I was doing, rightfully confronted over it, had me leave the picture in front of them, and then sent me on my way. A few days later, I was called into the general manager's office to explain to them what I had done, which I did as honestly as I could, making no excuse for myself, and I was made to give a written statement of what I did, which they had to send up the chain to the higher-ups. A few hours later, I was called back into the office and informed that they would have to terminate my employment, and I was not to justify myself because I know there is nothing I can say that excuses my disgusting behavior towards my coworker. It was awful and wrong of me to do it, and I am deeply ashamed of my actions. Some of my loved ones tried to reassure me that I just made a mistake, but I keep thinking that this was more than that. That I showed myself to be a deeply disgusting and awful person on the inside. Yeah, you are. No, I'm glad self-awareness is a thing. Imagine how you made that coworker feel that probably thought they were safe or normal around you. And you made them feel like an object. So I'm glad that you're aware that you're disgusting and weird. I think it's weird that your family's trying to justify it. If I found out one of my family members took a picture of their female coworkers when she was bent over, just like what happened to me, I would probably say you're very weird and disgusting, and I don't know why you had the thought to do that, let alone actually do it at work. So I'm glad that you got fired. And someone said in the comments, someone said she was bending over to pick up a package, and then the guy said she was not bending over to pick up a package, she was just standing there texting on her phone. I know it doesn't excuse what I did. Is this my story? No, deadass, is this James? Because I'm like, this is very familiar. Not really one that's like super crazy. This one's a little bit crazy. Today, I made a cancer joke in front of a patient going through chemotherapy. I feel so fucking awful and cannot get that moment out of my head. I was shadowing a nurse today, while in chemotherapy department. Comparing city life to rural life, ticks were brought up, and meat allergy ticks were as well. I mentioned how I'd rather get cancer from the city air, as it is known to give cancer over time, than be allergic to meat. As soon as I said that, I immediately realized where I was, and a sweet patient was right behind me. I feel so awful, and immediately shut it down. I had no intention to make the cancer joke, but I typically make over-exaggerated jokes when I compare things. It still came out nonetheless, and I can't stop thinking of how awful I must have made the patient feel. Saying in front of a cancer patient that you would rather have cancer than have a meat allergy. No, I mean, you sound like a good person. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. You sound like a good person. You did not intend to make this joke. Nonetheless, I would literally kill myself if this happened to me, and I would never be able to stop thinking about it, so it makes sense as to why you're thinking about it. This is not very, comforting. We've all done stuff like this, is all I could say, but damn, time and place, bro. See this one. This one sounds kind of interesting. I used to say awful, horrible things for attention. It still haunts me. I grew up in a very neglectful family. Okay. Y'all, I'm already getting sleepy and my neck hurts from sitting like this, so we're just gonna sit like this now. I grew up in a really neglectful family. My parents were always hyper-focused on my brother and didn't talk to me all that much, except to yell at me to study and how everything was my fault. My brother was very narcissistic and would often abuse me, verbally, physically, and even sexually. Oh, fuck no. When I was in school, I often isolated and sometimes bullied for being different and weird, on top of everything I was struggling with, undiagnosed neurodivergence. Yeah, that's the pipeline from getting bullied at school, feeling different and weird, and getting diagnosed. I kept going from middle school up until my first year of college. When sorry wasn't enough, it was asking if everyone was okay. Then, when I was 18, I latched onto the idea of having a girlfriend. Not because I really wanted one, but because it caused such a reaction when I went, oh, woe is me and I don't have a girlfriend. What does that mean? I also struggled with suicidal thoughts due to sexual assault with my family, but so I stopped caring. The attention seeking always gave me a rush, I guess, like a rush of adrenaline. This only got worse after my brain injury that August, amplifying all my behavior up to 11. I guess it made me feel something other than sadness or hatred or guilt or shame. So I started to chase it. Things got worse and worse and worse until eventually I started threatening suicide and saying, warning, this is really gross. So trigger warning, trigger warning. So if I can't have a partner, I'll just myself or I cannot read that. Or I'll R-word someone and then K myself. I'm glad you put that trigger warning. This is very weird, which remains to this day the most fucked up, horrific thing I've ever said. Even if I didn't mean it, I still said it to get a reaction out of somebody, even if it was negative. I was so focused on attention and didn't care who I hurt. I don't know. Maybe for some sort of control, it unfortunately took me destroying a friendship to see all the harm I was doing. It was selfish, but I was a really selfish person. Okay. I started going to therapy and I'm doing 1,000 times better now. I try to focus on positivity and putting it all into the world. I apologize to those that I've hurt and left alone, those who deserve to be left alone. But I feel so much guilt and shame over what I did, and rightfully so. I was a victim of R, and the fact that I said something so horrific makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, it's worse than I didn't mean I was going to do it, because I was infantilizing one of the most horrific acts anyone could ever make. I'm not asking for forgiveness or grace, because I don't think I deserve it. I guess I just am trying to move on and hate that this is part of my past, feel guilty and shame over it. It's nice to vent about it, I guess. You know what? I am not excusing anything that this person said. And I'm not saying that what happened is okay. I'm really not. Did they say something really horrific and hurtful and weird and disgusting, and I have never said anything that crazy in my life before? Yes. But number one, this person was clearly going through a lot mentally. They seem to be suicidal and seeking attention really badly, like they're saying. And they didn't mean what they said, which context plays a big role here. Besides the fact that that still doesn't make it okay or what happened to just be forgotten. This was in the past and you're a changed person now. Putting in the action to change as a person is so much work, and it's not easy like people think it is. A bad person becoming a better person after realizing their actions and the people they are hurting is the right step forward. If we just shame people for things they did in the past and we do not allow them to move forward, we will only have bad people becoming worse and okay people becoming bad and good people becoming okay. So we want the opposite of that. The only way to do that is to listen to people like this and kind of tell them how weird what happened in the past was, and if we see them doing better, to just encourage them to move forward. Obviously this person struggled in the past and they are still thinking about the actions from years ago. Now that they are doing better and going into therapy and doing better mentally, I'm not saying what they did is excusable at all, but what we have to do is just put it in the past and become better. Let's see what the Redditor comments have to say about this. You can't change your words, but you've clearly changed as a person. Don't let your worst moments define the rest of your life. That part. You said a lot of terrible things, but you realize and change. That's all anyone can do after making a mistake. You were hurting and lashing out. It's an explanation, not an excuse. You have to get past it. I did some fucked up things like this because I was bipolar. Explanation, not excuse. Yeah, a lot of times what you say in the context explains your situation, but it never excuses it. I've already been recording for damn near 30 minutes, y'all. That's fucking crazy. I'm already so tired. Holy shit, I didn't expect to get tired so quickly. I read like 4. I let my friends move into my house and I regret it. I, 23F, rented a house with my fiance, 24M, and my friend, 26F. Was trying to leave an abusive situation. After discussing this with my fiance, we agreed we would let her stay with us rent-free until she got back on her feet. It's very kind of you, but 90% of the time, this goes very south, from what I've heard. I wanted to do the right thing. She has no family here, moved out of state to be with her ex. She's a hardworking and great young lady. I miss my space. I miss being alone. Now I feel forced to be a friend 24/7. It's been a month now. I was cuddling with my fiance on the couch yesterday. I've been struggling with depression, crying all night, angry at everything, but not related to this. I finally calmed down. I just wanted to spend time with my fiance. My friend gets home, comes in there and says, "I want my friend right now." Not demanding, just upset. I pretended not to hear her. I wanted to say, "I want alone time with my partner right now." Honestly, it's very much worse that you pretended not to hear her and be weird, when you could have easily just said, "I want alone time with my partner right now. I will talk to you later." I feel like that would have explained it better, and communication is always better than just doing that. I told her this morning that I was bawling my eyes out right before she walked in. I hope she understands I'm a human too and have needs that deserve to be met. My friend is so beautiful and smart and amazing. I love her to pieces. She's been going through a rough patch, of course. She wants constant validation. Constant. I used to be the same way pre-meds and therapy, so I understand to an extent, but I am so tired. I cannot be a friend 24/7. Okay, so you made a decision that was not forced upon you, and you are facing this thing called consequences to your own actions. Consequences to your own actions is when you chose to let her move in. You were not prepared to have a roommate. You should not have made a decision that big if you were not prepared to make a roommate. I know you wanted to help her out, but you could have helped her out by, I don't know, like helping her find a really cheap apartment on her own, or helping her move her stuff. That would have been very helpful. Been there for her at times where she really needed you. You didn't have to move her into your house. Besides the fact that you choosing to ignore her, and it's just a bit weird. You could have just talked to her. Obviously, she needs her friend now more than ever because she's just been through a breakup, and you're there for her because you're in her house. So it makes sense that she needs you. Telling her I need a little bit of space with my partner tonight. It's date night, movie night. Would have made more sense. So I don't know, I feel like you're a little bit in the wrong here. It's sweet of you to let her move in, but also it's like you don't have to be a bitch about it. Hold it over her head. Let's see, I want to read another one because I'm pretty much gonna fall asleep. This one is fucking crazy, y'all. I lied about being SA'd to my friends. I need to talk about this with someone. I need to get this off my chest. Why would you lie about that? She says, I'm 16, going on grade 11. Okay, you're 16. That's my first impression of you. Though at 16, I knew a lot better than that. I lied about it on grade 7, going on grade 11. So you're grade 10. I said it to my friends only. I didn't tell any authorities or adults. I wanted to tell my friends the truth, but I couldn't bring myself to. I felt disgusting, and I should be. Being young isn't an excuse for saying stupid stuff. I told one of my friends the truth about everything, but I cannot bring myself to tell the rest. I feel disgusting, and I cannot bring myself to even watch documentaries with the topic of SA for what I've done. I need advice. I'm filled with anxiety, shame, and deep regret. I downloaded this to somehow get it off my chest because I can't tell my friends. I'll tell the internet instead. If you feel like it's affecting you that bad, you are just a kid, first of all. I mean, you're not a kid, but you are, in a way. 16, I know you think that the world's against you and life is really hard and everyone hates you and you hate the world and you know everything. And I know that all adults tell you that you think you know everything, but you really don't. And that's why you make mistakes like this. And it's okay, okay? It's okay to make a mistake. I'm not sure what the context is for you to have lied about something like that, but I'm assuming it was important at the time, or you felt the need to. If it's really consuming you, the best thing you could do is just tell your friends that you felt like you had to say it, or you felt like, whatever it is, just tell them the truth. You'll get it off your chest. If you don't talk to these people anymore, then it's not that big of a deal. Y'all, I'm falling asleep, but I don't know what else to tell you. Let's read one more, y'all. One more. Okay. This girl, I'm gonna read hers because I feel like I'm from a background and culture where I'm very understanding about this topic, and I feel like Americans as in born and raised people that have the American culture and come from an American culture and family, they will not be able to sympathize with you and understand you in the way that I will, so I'm gonna be the one to read this one. I live an extreme double life and don't know if this is... Wait, that makes no sense. I promise they wrote it that way. But it says, I live an extreme double life and don't know if I'm a disappointment. I think she means, and don't know if I'm a disappointment. I'm a 22F, and I live a double life mainly because of my super strict parents. Well, in front of my parents and relatives, I'm a really modest person. I dress modestly, with maxi skirts and oversized long sleeve tops, and have no social media presence. Don't show my hair. Oh, I think she wears a hijab then. Don't show my hair, wear no makeup, and have a slim body with no girly features. Okay. I'm assuming you're some sort of Arab or Afghani, maybe Persian. Obviously, anyone could have this type of culture, but I'm going to assume based off of the context I was given and the background I know, maybe could be Indian. But in my other life, I'm the total opposite. I wear super tight and revealing clothes and secretly wear extensions and a full face of makeup, and I'm a bit famous at different platforms. And I wear push-up bras and hip pads to look thick. It's interesting. I wonder who this person is. I always get compliments like 24/7 when I'm living the second, not modest life, but literally zero compliments when I'm modest. My sibling once caught me and told my mom. She literally went crazy and told me that I'm the ugliest person she has ever seen. And now she told me to never wear makeup again or get my hair done again. Just leave it in a messy bun. It seems like your parents... I was going to say I would be more understanding because I was assuming you're going to say your parents are religious or they are looking out for you and to make sure your image is pure or whatever. This makes it seem like your parents are just... I don't know if they're jealous. I don't know if they hate you. I mean, you're 22 years old and they're tripping over makeup in your bun. If you're already famous on some platforms, that suggests leaning into that as your way out. Talking to Reddit is nice because you get advice, but I think you should make an exit plan and start talking to your audience about this because it might get you seen and heard, and you might be able to get help from people on the internet. There's a lot of people willing to help all the time, and if you're already quite a bit famous, you could get some support, maybe even donations if that's what you're missing and need. If you're already living the second life and have that whole other life, you clearly don't get along with your family. They clearly don't like you. It would have been different if they love you and like you and support you, but they want you to be modest. They don't like you or love you. I don't know why you haven't just moved out and texted them the reason, or just straight up told them I'm moving out. Obviously, it's a little different because you can't just leave. You're missing your entire family. You're gonna leave everything. This person says this is like telling someone to swim while they're chained to the pool floor, which is 100% the case. A lot of the time, if they're this strict, they control your work, they have your paperwork, they have your information, your location, trackers. Though I'm not sure if you're going out and getting ready, they might not. But I mean, maybe you're just getting ready in your own home and posting like that. Well, her telling you you're ugly made a clue as to why you developed the alternative life. But what you really need to realize is that the alternative life, regardless of all the compliments and followers, that alternative life, that what they are seeing, complimenting, and following for is only skin deep. They don't see you, not the real you, only your body. Metaphorically, it's like people being drawn to the beautiful cover of a fantastic novel, but never actually opening the book and reading the novel inside. Just a dumb compliment. People are agreeing with that. This is dumb. I think you're being more yourself in the alternative life. You clearly feel more confident and you keep doing it, so it's something that you enjoy doing. I don't think it's just because of the compliments. I think it's what you like to do. But yeah, guys, I think I'm so done for today. If you guys want me to read more Reddit stories, I 100% will. Just let me know if you guys enjoyed this. If you have any advice, please follow in the comments. I do read like every single comment I've ever gotten in my entire life. I hope you guys have a wonderful night too. I hope you sleep well, just like I'm about to sleep, just like a baby. And that was some pretty crazy shit. If you guys have any confessions, I might do reading my, like, you guys' confessions when I make it a little bit on here. I'll get a little more known, and I might do a link. So that'll be very fun. Yeah, hopefully the video does well enough for me to do that. I will keep reading Reddit stories for everybody until it happens. And I love you all so much, and I will see you when I see you, because I'm never doing this again.